Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been about 2 months since this channel's been active, but for good reasons. The baby daughter is doing good, and Kinetic Air is doing even better. We've been slammed with vector orders, and I just want to thank everybody in the community for your help and just blowing this frame up. We put a lot of work into it. So this video is going to be pretty much just going over a build of different ways how to build it, 5-inch, 6-inch, Mr Steele PDB, all that cool stuff. So on the table here, got a big old mess of stuff and a GoPro here to record it all. We're just going to jump right in. Alright, so I have you on the GoPro, and hopefully the sound quality is okay, because this printer back here is running 24/7 to get the prints out the door for all you guys. But let's go ahead and jump in and just go over what you're going to get in a kit. So on this table you actually see two kits, or a mess of stuff. Over here is a 5-inch setup, over here is a 6-inch, which I'm actually about to build out with a full KISS setup, the RotoGeeks Swift. I'm going to throw in some LEDs, bling it out. We're going to try out the new Crossfire, jump on that hype train. Got my TBS video VTX, which can do up to 800. Also get that long range in there. We are going to be installing the Mr Steele PDB, and I don't think it's necessary to run a cap on this. I haven't been doing it on my other builds, but I'm going to try it out. Why not, right? Everyone else is doing it. So that's going to be this build, which is going to be going through kind of in the video. But this video is not going to be about electronics. I'm not going to show you guys how to solder. You guys should all know how to do that by now. I'm just going to build it up probably like on a quick time lapse. Over here though, I'm going to build this one up showing you kind of how the frame goes together, the parts you're going to get, things like that. So with this frame, it actually comes in two versions. You get the Vector, which is going to be the carbon fiber frame, bottom plate, top plate, arm, mid plate, the 4 arms, camera side plates, camera top plate. And you're going to get your 12mm screws for bolting in the arms, some nylon lock nuts. They're steel with nylon inserts. You're going to get all your 6mm screws. You're going to get one 28mm standoff, 8 15mm standoff. You're going to get 8 of these aluminum washers just to bling out the quad. Also, when I build it, I'll kind of show you what else those are good for. And that's pretty much what you're going to get in the just Vector package. Now, if you end up wanting to go with a special edition Vector, that's going to start coming with TPU prints. So you're going to get kind of like how this one is built out. You're going to get a VTX print of your choice, which can either be the one for the Axie, this is a true RC Axie, or you can get the one for the TBS, which will show in the 6-inch build here, Immortal antenna. You're also going to be able to get a bumper for the front, just for those collisions. You can get some arm guards that go on the tip, protect the tip of that carbon fiber. Also, you're going to be able to get a 3030 mount TPU that goes in the back here, where you can either use like a white noise board or just any one of these 3030 mount boards here to put your electronics on, like your VTX or your RX. This one's just pre-printed. It also comes with these antenna mounts that slide over the bottom here, and you can angle your antenna whichever angle you want, and then either run antenna tubes through it or even a zip tie and heat shrink, and that would be for like your Frsky or Spectrum or anything else you want other than these TBS antennas. So it comes with a lot of options. And let's throw that over here to the side. And that's pretty much the difference between a regular and an SE. So also, let's just go ahead and jump into the build. Oh, that's what I was saying also about. Also, you have the option for an additional $14.99, pick up a full wrap. And the full wrap is going to cover top and bottom. Now this is the Graffiti one from, I'll put it up here in the corner somewhere, wherever that is, StikItSkins.com. Jeff over there does a great job. Now from our store, all the pre-orders went out with the slime skin, either in yellow or goldish orange, and these other ones are ones that Jeff provides, and we may be adding some custom ones to the store. We'll see what's up with that as time goes. Alright, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it so I can get to working on my 6" and get flying here shortly, but I'm going to show you how to build up the overall frame first and just the tips and tricks on this. So what we have here is the bottom plate, the arm sandwich plate, and of course the arms. Now installing the arms, you can install them into the center or below on the bottom, but if you do put them on the top here in the center of the frame, you have to remember you're losing another 4mm plus this 1.5, so you're going to be down to like 9mm to build in for your stack, and that's going to be pretty hard to do unless you're an expert, but hey, I know somebody will do it. On the other hand, we're going to show you how to build it on the outside. So with this will be the bottom of the frame, and this is the strengthening plate for the arms to help hold them in place. You're just going to go ahead and stick your arm in and put on the plate. Grab your 12mm screw, and we're just going to thread it right through the hole, like so. Alright, then you'll grab one of your nuts and just hand tighten that down. We don't want to tighten it because we need to slide in everything else first. So then you're just going to go ahead and grab another arm, grab another 12mm, same thing, and you'll know you're doing it correctly when your arms, the inside has that cut and the outside is straight, so it makes it a little bit easier. Alright, now if I could just get the screw to pop through, there we go. Again, just hand tighten, and the video will go through and we'll have the other arms on there for you. Alright, and just like that, we are on the last arm. Now, I wanted to bring this up, and I did this actually on purpose to show you guys another option. So when bolting the arms in, you could run your screws in from the bottom of the quad, like that, and put your nuts on the top, and then this is where your stack's going to be. But when you do that, as you can tell, when you add the nut to it, you are going to lose a little bit of build room. So if you're already having a struggle fitting your stack within 15mm, a couple of our pilots that have been testing these have actually been running their screws from the inside down and putting their bolts on the bottom. I personally run the Mr Steele board, so this isn't an issue, but if you need that extra few millimeters of space, if you do this, you can see that you're not really losing much because the top of a screw head is real low, so this allows you to get maximum build. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, just run your screws like any normal quad through the bottom and bolt in the top. And I've actually already built that way as well. Works just as good. You just got to pick the right components and make sure everything fits, and that's important on a quad of this style. Building within 15mm of space. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up these center bolts real quick and be right back. Alright, so we have all the arms in place, all the bolts. You got your 4 centers, your 4 outsides. That leaves the flight controller stack there. Alright, now for the camera plate, it comes with the 2 sides and the top. Now the front of the top is right here because that's where the GoPro mount, if you want to bolt it on, slides into, if I'm showing that correctly. Alright, and you're just going to use these tabs, pop it in there like so. Alright, take your top plate, you have these notches, you'll slide this in, and then slide it back. You slide it back, clicks in place, and that is your camera setup. Now this is the time you actually are going to want to install your camera. If you put it in the quad, you're not going to get it through here. We really built this to protect your camera. It may limit some of the angles depending on what camera you choose. For example, the RotoRiot edition uses the GoPro lens, so it's going to give you about a 10-degree tilt between 30 and 40, while if you use an actual just a regular Swift with their narrow lens, you could actually get your full 25 through 45 because it will pass through this gap here. Or if you want to go with the micro to save space, we do have these bumpers that we're going to be putting on the store soon, and they will snap in, and then your micro will bolt into those. So that will again give you full range of motion and save a little, a little bit of weight. Alright, so on the last standoff here, and there's a total of 8. You got 2 in the front, 2 behind the camera assembly, 2 in the back here, and 2 in the very rear. And that's going to give just great overall strength across the quad. Now while we're in this position, this is where you would decide if you wanted to add in, for example, the 30-30 mounts on the back, this piece, which allows you to stick on like a VTX. You can zip tie to it, or electrical tape. You can put something underneath it, such as this TBS receiver. So it just allows you to clean your build up and strap it all to this piece rather than taping everything to your quad itself. So that's what this is for. Also, if you wanted to add in the axis antenna, which is what I had on the other quad over there, you would just slide this over the standoffs and it would sit out the back like so. And then the last thing, if you wanted to put on, if you had the special edition, right at this point before you put the standoffs on, is the front bumper. So you slide on the front like so. So again, this is going to be the base model. Those are the special edition parts. So at this point, you're going to, like I said before, install your camera first, and then go ahead and slide in your front plate into that hole in the bottom, and then line up the tabs. You should just hear it just click in. There it is. And everything should line up. Let's go ahead and drop the rest of these screws in. Alright, before I install these last two, this is what I did not show on this model. Every model actually comes with this, I just didn't have them out here. I'll show you on the 6" when I go to build it up. But you're going to get 8 of these washers here, and they are for the front, bottom and top, and back, bottom and top. And we use them in this location, one for looks, just it looks amazing, but 2, it actually creates a bumper and makes that carbon fiber thicker. So if you were to get in a front end collision, this will actually take a lot of the hit and strengthen the carbon fiber here, as well as in the rear. Now, we don't recommend them, and you'll see other people use them sometimes anywhere in the structural plate of the arms, because this is aluminum and these are steel screws. Aluminum is a lot softer, and you get too many wrecks, the aluminum is going to smash and create wiggle room and other stuff in your screws, or the screws will start falling out. So we just use them in the fronts and backs, get that bling factor, and also create an extra thick front. So in the chance of a collision, you just got that extra bumper. Alright, so those are the last 2 screws there, and this is where you could also install, you could do this at any time, but this depends if you're going to do strap-on GoPro, which it would come with a pad for that, and you would just take, actually let me grab it real quick, one of our cases that look like this, slide your GoPro into it, and then you can strap it onto the front, which is what I'll probably end up doing here on this build, so we'll just lay that there. But if you were going to go with, let's go ahead and do it on this frame just to show you. It already has a standoff in there. If you're going to go with this GoPro, you would slide the standoff in, put it there, grab a screw, and perfect. Another one. Alright, now at this point your GoPro is only on that front standoff there. What you do is you grab a zip tie and you run it right through the back there and around your plate, and it'll go inside these grooves and lock down your GoPro. Now we also took into account not everybody wants to cut their zip tie every time they want to take their top plate off, and it is a little hard to get to these screws. So we did put some holes in the GoPro there, so while it's zip tied down, you could actually hit your screws still. And this way you could take your top plate off and leave your GoPro skin on there. So just convenience. Also, if you didn't want to take your GoPro out and make changes, there's a hole in the back there that allows for the microphone to get its audio, as well as you to push the accessory button on the GoPro. So that right there, guys, is the frame built up. You know, beautiful chamfered edges, solid frame, top plate, no flex, and ready for, you know, going out there and ripping some either long range or some freestyle. We're gonna go ahead and throw this aside, and we're gonna jump into my build, the 6-inch. So right off the bat, we talked about skins. I'm gonna go ahead and skin my frame, and I'm gonna time lapse the whole thing, but I'll pause every once in a while to kind of give you a brief, you know, show maybe like how the Mr. Steele board goes on or how it looks as I'm going through the process. Alright, I wanted to pause here on the time lapse and just show you what I just did one to, you know, it's probably like a blink of an eye time lapse, but awesome quality fit. The stickers are actually fairly thick, so they're easy to lay out without bunching up. You just line it up with the edges, lay it down. He also gives you plenty of cutout around all the screws, so the screws do not damage the stickers. And also, just so you know, each kit as a full wrap will come with 2 pages, and the reason why is it's a full wrap. You have your bottom plate, which is right here, and then I'll just go ahead and show you doing this plate real quick. On the other bottom section that looks like the same but is not, it is actually only halves, and the reason why is your center X plate for your arm brace is going to be there, so you don't need to have stickers going across there. It could mess up the tolerance of the arms. So again, this is how easy it is. It's pretty stiff. You're just going to line it up, drop it on there. If it's a little off, you can easily reposition it just like that. So I didn't push it down with my fingers, but just like that. And you can kind of tell because all the cutouts will look straight if you get it right. So I did that big one really easy, and of course I'd struggle on camera while doing the small one. Boom. I think that's going to be pretty good. Alright, go ahead and push it down. And that's all it is. So back to the time lapse. Alright guys, check that out. I got the stickers all on there. It was actually pretty easy, so that time lapse probably wasn't too terribly long. Basically, you end up using both of them. I didn't use these two. It's for the other side, the inside of the camera. You could do it, but when I was testing it a few times, and how often are you going to remove your camera in and out, but when you're prototyping you are. When I was removing the camera, it just made it extra tight. So just for tolerance issues, I'm not going to run it on the inside. No big deal. Everything was good. Big shout out to Jeff over there at StikItSkins.com. Check him out. Quality is there. It looks nice. It's thick. It looks like it'll take a beating. Things that we worked with him and took into account, which he already knew because he's been doing this, is the chamfered edges on these arms. So that obviously the sticker goes within that, so it doesn't hang off the edge, so it doesn't get caught and start peeling. Again, both sides. It looks really good. Everything lines up. So yeah, I'm impressed. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting it together. I'm gonna start off with a video before I time lapse it, just to go over a few things. So first things first, can't get over how good it looks with this sticker, but what we're gonna do is the Mr. Steele PDB. So this was a big thing behind this frame, designing it to fit this board. At the time this frame was being designed, you know, in the works months and months ago, probably the Alien may have been, and could be wrong, the only frame that supported this board, and we thought it'd be great to bring another platform that gives people who love to fly KISS an option for this board that Mr. Steele was designing. So we did so. By the time this video is watched, who knows, I bet you other frames follow suit, but till then, we got it. So what we're going to do is this is going to be the top for it to go onto. I still recommend, even though we have a sticker on here, to run the plastic piece that comes with the Mr. Steele board. It's there for a reason, to stop you from grounding out, and in case you had you know, if you scratched it and went through the sticker. So that's going to be there. Also, I already pre-tinned, added the XT60s and everything, but I wanted to show you guys I left one spot for the press nut. So when you order this and it comes with press nuts, you no longer need the nuts that we provide. They'll still come in the package, but you can put those aside because this board uses press nuts. If you've ever done this, you already know how, but it is important to use a steel screw, the washer included. Definitely need the washer, it will not work well without it. And then you're going to go ahead and take the press nut, stick it in the hole, like so. Just put your thumb over it, and just start hand threading the screw to get it started, and make sure that it's level. You want this press nut to sink in just perfect. Alright, once that is finger tight, you'll just grab your normal driver, say 2.5, and start screwing it down until it doesn't go any further. And when you do that, the teeth of the press nut will sink down into the PDB, and you'll have threads now installed into your press or into your PDB. Wow, let's talk more. Alright, now that that's done, you put that aside. This you'll not need, but it's good to keep, you know, for later uses. Our spear frame, for example, uses press nuts. I use those all the time to insert them. So there you go, got all four inserted. Now let's go ahead and lay it on the side where the XT60 is. Line that up. You'll notice that the microphone has a cutout for the board as well, so it should sit pretty flush. And then if I can do all this with one hand, let's find out. Now this is important. Now the arms are all the same, but once you sticker them, they are no longer unidirectional because the stickers determine the motor side. So the side with the more carbon is where the motor sits. The side where it's covered is the bottom. So you need to make sure that you do that if you sticker them, otherwise they'll be all backwards. So there's that, and then we're going to grab our X plate, lay that on there, and then you'll still use the screws that we provide, which is again 12mm, and if we do this just right, it will be flush. Alright, there's that last screw installed. We'll go back and just tighten them. Looking good. Now as you tighten this down, you are bringing the PDB down into the frame, and it's actually creating an additional sandwich, really. You got your strengthening plate for the arms on the bottom, you got your mid plate, and then you got your PDB fastening everything to the center of the frame. Alright, well, there you go. Edit. So yeah, look at that. That is badass looking with the sticker. So there's that. From this point on, I'm going to just start what? I'm done. Let's go. Alright, just stop the time lapse. Take a look at that. Gold standoffs. It's looking good, looking good. But what we want to go over now is the camera plate and how to put it together, because if any part of this build is going to be a little tough, it could be this, but in all honesty, it's not hard. You're just going to take the top plate, side plate, make sure this is facing forward, snaps in. Oh, make sure your graphics are on the outside if you did what I did, which is only wrap one side. Alright, there you go. Grab your top plate, you're going to just go into it, and then you have these right there on the back. It's going to slide into your top plate. Now with the stickers, this could cause some friction, because again, tolerance levels were made for the carbon fiber, not for the added sticker. But just push at it. There we go. Could even use an X-Acto blade, maybe trim the sticker back, which I may do because it shouldn't be that hard. There we go. Yeah, sticker does make it harder. Looks pretty good though. This side's a little further. Alright, once that's on, then we're going to grab our camera, and I'm using one of the largest cameras out there, or as far as the GoPro lens, and it does fit this frame. Obviously, if you want more tilt angle options, you might want to go with one without the GoPro lens. That way you don't have to worry about this right here hitting the lens. But this whole thing was designed to protect the camera, so you just slide it in, just like so. Line up your screw holes. And fasten it down. Like I said, it's actually really easy, as long as you install it in this order. If you go out of order, good luck, because this is a caged camera, and getting it to fit inside the cage is a puzzle, and the best way to do it is this way. Alright, so you do that. Now you have your, like I was saying, here's your tilt angle with a large lens. You're only going to get so much, but if you go with a smaller lens, it could drop below. And that's that. So we'll go ahead and add in the standoff. This is for structure. Definitely recommend not leaving it out. It also makes it look good. I'm loving this gold and graffiti look. All you guys at pre-order are going to hate us for not giving out this sticker, but we can't give them all out. This one you have to hit the store up, purchase. Alright, there we go. Camera's in its pod, and you do have angle adjustments there that you could lock down. Which angle, so you can see we're only getting about half of it with this camera. Alright. Nice little RotoGeeks logo right through that hole. Yeah. There's that. So the camera's installed. And at this point we're not going to drop it into the frame, but I just want to see what it looks like. And time lapse to the build again. Let's go. Alright, so taking a real quick stop here just to go over where I'm at and show you what I've done so far. So if you are building a similar build with the Mr Steele PDB, what I've done here is I've direct soldered the VTX, not because you need to or have to, but because I actually don't have the cable for this one. So that's optional, but it has options here on the side, and you can see it's labeled video, audio, ground, and 5 volt. You just make sure it goes to the respected side on the Mr Steele board there, which I have, and just some clean cables. Then I've also added the camera, which is the video in, 5 volt, and ground for the camera. Just nice and tidy little wire here. And then where I am at is adding this, which I've never worked with. I can tell you right off the bat, I'm going to be clipping that off because it's going to be soldered. And then what we're doing here is we're going to install it onto the back. So I'll just go through that real quick, showing you our TPU. Alright. And these might work on other frames, but they were designed with the width of the Vector's back standoffs. So they may or may not. What you're going to do here now is just slide it over the standoffs. Like so. And boom, got that in there nice and pretty. And then on this one I am going to be using a full-size antenna instead of like the Axie and everything. So since I'm doing that, we have an SMA connector that you can also slide on top of this. I don't think I'm going to run my SMA completely out that, so I'll show you what I'm going to do with that later. But that's the look you're going for right there. Boom. Alright guys, so I know that video was getting kind of long and I want to go ahead and stop and give you a look at it. I know it's not completely finished, but man, clean, low profile, got the kiss on the arms. It is going to be wrapped in the same TPU as this, but blue. So that's not finished yet. I got to wire them up. On the bottom, it's going to have the LEDs. Also will be heat shrinked around when they put the TPU on, so those will be covered. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna wire those. I didn't want this video to keep going for stuff that you guys aren't here to see. You're here to see the build of the quad itself. So this is it. So basically the few things that need to be finished is we do have the battery pad that you put on here. Nice and sticky and squishy. You have the pad for the GoPro, and you can run a strap through it if you want. Or you can have the other one that bolts on, but this is the one that straps on. So there's that, and pretty much sums it up. I will run a zip tie right here on those two holes to anchor the SMA connector on the inside of the quad to the top, just for support and a wreck. But and I did not use the splitter inside because the TBS VTX and the TBS Crossfire fit side by side, which allowed me to stuff the SMA on the inside, which I preferred. If you're going to run the SMA on the outside, you could stack them, but I felt like that was the cleanest way to go. And that's the build right there. I'm going to close this video out today with it like this. I'll probably shoot another one finishing it up, but you can follow me at NOS Design on Instagram or Kinetic _FPV on Instagram, and you will see updated photos. I'm waiting for the EMAX 2207 LS motors in the 1900 kV for the long range 6-inch on this, and I'll be throwing on some nice pretty blue props to match everything I'm doing, and this is gonna be my 6-inch long range rig. So hopefully you guys liked what you've seen. Come back to see the finished product, and go check out kineticaerial.com for this vector frame. You can pick it up there for $89.99 for the base model, $99.99 for the special edition with the TPU, and an extra $15 if you want a skin or not. You can also check these skins out from Jeff at StikItSkins.com. I think I plugged enough right there at the end. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'm back to stay. Can't promise it. I'm still pretty busy, but I'm going to try to squeeze in some extra videos for you. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Love you guys. I'm out.